course, this has been floating, Congressman, around many journalist organizations, and no one touched it, no one published it, because no one saw it as authentic, and no one could verify a darn thing in there. And yet, our own FBI somehow is possibly taking this as some kind of gospel that they then think that they need to, issue warrants on people and eavesdrop, etc.
Well, yeah, and remember how the dossier eventually became public. Comey briefed President-elect Trump January 6th of 2017, and then lo and behold, a couple hours later, CNN, they didn't want to print the dossier because they knew it was false, but what they did was they leaked the existence of the meeting about the dossier. So that was the way that got into the bloodstream. And there was only a handful of people who knew about that meeting, including James Clapper, who was the head of national intelligence under Barack Obama. So this whole thing with this dossier and how the government either did use it or may have used it, it really does stink to high heaven.
So when people talk about the deep state, is this what they're referring to?
You know, I draw a distinction between the rank and file of the FBI, who I think if you look across our government, some of these FBI agents are as good as anybody in any agency of government. When I served in Iraq back in '07, you had FBI agents out in places like Fallujah, Ramadi, risking their lives. I think the problem has been with a relatively small number of people who've been high up in the agency, both in Justice Department and in the FBI, and these happen to be the people who were the driving forces behind both the Hillary email investigation and then the Trump collusion Russia investigation. And I think anybody who misbehaved needs to be held accountable, but at a minimum, we need to know what all these people did and how all this information was handled.
I think that's probably